To the Aboriginals and Moors of America. I'm not talking to none of you other bomber clots. To the Aboriginals and Moors of America. To the black folks that know they're from America. Now you have the Moor Negroes talking about we're not Indians. We didn't call ourselves Indians. Well, we know we didn't call ourselves a lot of these names. And Indian means Indo, which means black, because Indian ink is the darkest ink, so it means black. It means nigger, right? But Moor, where does Moor come from? I thought Moor come from the Spanish niggas. Even though we know the Spanish was black, but that come from the Spanish. So why y'all calling yourself Moors? Y'all been calling yourself Moors? And then y'all talking about, oh, we got a connection with the people in Africa that call themselves Moors. The people in Africa call themselves Moors. The Moroccans call themselves Moors. And then y'all talking about y'all Moors in America, which I understand you're American, but I understand the Moor part. How long have y'all been calling yourself Moors? Why are you talking about the Indian and Aboriginal? And then this one thing. You could say something about an Indian and all that, but you can't say nothing about an Aboriginal, about a Tonton, a Tonchinist one. When somebody talks about they're Aboriginal to the land, if you're a Moor and you're from America, that means you're Aboriginal to America too. So that means you're Aboriginal. But see, when you saying, oh, Moors in America, and you saying you're not Aboriginal, how are you not indigenous to this land? So you have to be Aboriginal too. It's not, see, y'all talking about it's not a set, it's not a movement, it's not none of that. It's a real thing. Just like if you have somebody that's a Nigerian, that's not no movement. That's where he's from. That's what he is. It's not no movement. It's where somebody's from. That's where they is. Aboriginal means you're from that land. So if you're a Moor, then you're Aboriginal, huh? Like I'm saying, to the Aboriginals and the Moors of America, not to you bomber clots. But we got black folks waking up. Black folks is not even conscious and stuff like that, because I've been hollering at folks that's not even really on this type of stuff that we on, right? A lot of people don't know that we've been here, and I've been talking to some people talking about, man, you know that we really are what they call the Indians. We really from here. What they call the Indians is us. It's not the Mongols and stuff. And then some people be like, it only makes sense, especially people that travel, because some people have been to different states in America, and they be like, and then we already know all the black states from our culture, from our music and all that. We know about all the black folks in New York, Detroit, Philly, St. Louis, Kansas City, Texas, California, and just right there alone let you know, wait, hold on. It's too many so-called black folks in America. Too many. Every state you go to, you have black cities. Now for you bomber clots, why would the Pilgrims bring all these African slaves to America, and you have all these African slaves in America in each state with their own community and their own cities, even though they call them the ghetto, the slums, the projects? How do Africans have all these cities in America? So this is what you're saying. The Pilgrims brought all these people from Africa, and then these people from Africa just started having hella kids. And what you see, that's what you people don't know, because I know y'all like, what is it called? Like the census and the stuff that the white people are saying and stuff like that. Like how the white people say they're the majority in America. Look, you know that's a lie. Everywhere, this is what you need to do, because this is what I be doing. When I be going places, the different cities in the Bay Area, and I be going, I just be counting everybody. I count the white folks, I count the foreigners, I count the black folks, and I count the Latinos. And guess what? It's them. See, this is what y'all ain't knowing. Them Asians, the Asians from India all the way to China, them niggas is more than white people. I've been counting more Asians than white people. You don't count the Asians, you don't count the Latinos, you don't count the blacks, you don't count the white people. You're going to see that there's not that many white people until you go to the real rich areas. Real rich areas like Marin County. Marin is where all the rich folks stay. And this another thing. They tell you that all the rich folks is in Hollywood. Oh, all the actors are in Hollywood. But Robin Williams died right here in the Bay Area in Napa, got the house in San Rafael, Marin County. George Lucas from Star Wars lives over there. I was at a house in Corte Madera, that's Marin County. I was working on a house, and next to that house was Carlos Santana house. Diana Ross had the house in Tiburon. Tupac mama just died in Sausalito. And you know Tupac and them is from Marin County, from the Jungles. The Jungles is the projects in Marin. Marin is the richest county in America, and they're in the Jungles where Tupac and them grew up at. His mama died 10 minutes right down the street in Sausalito. Sausalito is right there by the Jungles. All these rich people stay in Marin County. They do not stay in Hollywood. They stay right there. But this is what I'm saying. When you go up there, up in them hills and stuff, you see a lot of white people. But look at this. I go to other rich neighborhoods and gated communities and rich neighborhoods. It's mostly Asians, blood. It's mostly Asians. It's mostly Chinese, Indians, Nepalians. You know what I'm saying? Pakistani niggas. So white people telling you that it's more of them than everybody, they're lying. It's more of us than them, but they're not going to show you that. They're not going to tell you that. You have to see this for yourself. You got to sit there and count the niggas and see every city that these niggas is in. All these communities. It's more of us than it is of them. That's why they brought all these foreigners out here. If it was more white people than black people, they wouldn't have brought all these foreigners out here. They started bringing these foreigners out here like in the 60s. In the 60s, they started bringing all these foreigners out here. And when I'm talking about foreigners, I'm talking about people that came on planes from Europe, Asia, stuff like that. Even Africa, right? I'm not talking about people who came from Mexico, Central and South America. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about real foreigners, Europeans, Asians, and Africans. I'm talking about them. That's what I'm talking about. Them. They've been bringing all these foreigners over here in our communities and stuff like that because it's way more of us than them. If it was more white folks than us, they wouldn't have brought these foreigners. These white folks ain't supposed to do that. These foreigners are coming over here on the plane every day. They've been coming. Foreigners. No green card having, but what the government comes out here, give them these loans. And then y'all be looking at the Arabs who have the liquor stores, the Indians that have the 7-Elevens, and y'all be like, oh, they doing this. They're not doing nothing. That's what the government gave to them. The government gives them grants and loans to do that. How are you going to be an immigrant from another country and come out here and have a business? Because they gave you that business. Because we know you was broke in that country. So, or you had money in that country? No, you didn't. So how did you come out here and get these businesses? Because they gave it to you. Because the grants that was for us, all the stuff that happened with the civil rights movement, that was for us. Y'all taking all of our grants, everything that was given to us, all the stuff that was given to us, they given to you foreigners. And not just you foreigners, white people too, because affirmative action is for us. But white women get affirmative action. How do white women get affirmative action if affirmative action is for us? So you just got to sit there and see that it's too many black people in America. And I'm just talking about North America. We ain't going to talk about, okay, let's go to the West Indies. No, we got to go to the West Indies. Hit the West Indies up. How are all these black people in the West Indies? Jamaica, Haiti, Dominico, St. Thomas, all them, lot of countries I don't even know that's over there and stuff. There's a whole bunch of countries over there that we don't even know, nigga. That's nothing but black people. Like the rum country. I didn't know about the rum country until I was watching the Olympics. The Olympics was like, this probably been, not the last Olympics, but the Olympics before that. So it's probably like 2012 or something. But the brother from the rum country, I think he won like the 800. He ran like the 800 or 400, but he won. And he's from a country in the West Indies. And they was talking, I'm like, I ain't never heard of that. But they call it the rum country. I forget the name of it, but they call it the rum country. I'm like, it's too many niggas. Then we go to Central and South America. We go to Nicaragua. We go to Belize. Come on, we even go to Mexico. We go to Brazil. We go to Colombia. We go to Panama. Niggas. So y'all saying they brought all these Africans to the West Indies, North America, Central and South America. They brought all these Afro niggas, all these Afro Latinos, because remember they said all the Afro Latinos are Africans. So all these Africans came up over here, like from the Pilgrims bringing them over here on a slave boat. That's how you know the slave trade, and that's how you know the slave trade was a lie. Niggas, you can't even bring all these people over here. How did you bring all these people over here? What did you feed them? What was they eating? When you had 300 niggas sitting up on top of each other, pissing and shitting on each other and stuff like that. But all these niggas survived. But they came out here and killed all the Native Americans. The Native Americans didn't survive, but they brought all these slaves from Africa through this Middle Passage, not feeding these niggas, and these niggas survived. It's only common sense to tell you that, no, we was already over here. Common sense. We was already over here. That's only common sense, man. So when you got you ADOS and you Pan-Africans and you ADS and you Pan-Africans, this is the age of information. Revelation is time to reveal. You cannot still be on that BS, that old BS. This is the only BS that you can be on that I can understand. If you like, okay, we been over here. The Pilgrims didn't bring us, but we came from Africa thousands of years ago. Okay, that sounds way, way better that you came from Africa thousands of years ago. Willingly. You feel what I'm saying? Because you know how they talk about all the Olmecs and this structure, but it was Africans, and the Africans came over here 1,000 years ago. Because I was on that hype too. I was like, okay, I see it. Okay, I see that we been here, but we been here from Columbus. They came before Columbus. America Vespucci. We know that the so-called Africans was over here. There was black people over here. So they'd be like, okay, we came from Africa 1,000 years ago. But when you research it, you start to study and stuff, you start to see like, wait, hold up. Did we really come from Africa? You want to be from Africa because you think Africa is the motherland. Research and do your study. And you'll find out America is the motherland. We still in the motherland right now. It's not Africa because it's too dried up over there. They're not doing nothing in Africa. Ain't nobody in Africa. We know they got the Chinese and people going over there, but we talking about every race on earth would be in Africa. They would not be in America. Every race on earth is in America, not in Africa. You don't even understand what the old world means. The old world means it's the world that's going to feed everybody. That means that's where everything comes from. But we know America feeds everybody. America been feeding everybody. We know that America takes the jobs from America and sends them to so-called third world countries that have y'all in sweatshops working for 20 cents. And then y'all bring it back to America. All the stuff that comes from China already came from America. And then it's shipped out there. The only stuff they bring from China is plastic, rice, fake stuff. Anything that other countries is bringing us is fake because we don't need nothing from any other countries because we got everything right here. We don't need nothing from the country. Cats like AB Original X, like, you need to wake up because I don't think you an agent. I just think you just lost. Like Sarah Seti, General Sarah Seti, you know he's a straight agent. We already know he's an agent because he too smart. He too smart. He know what he talking about. He's running an agenda. And then you talk about the African connection to America. Yes, the African American connection to America is been the African connection to America. You dummy. That's what we've been trying to tell you. What about Mansa Musa and them? Nigga, what about all these Africans that been coming out here? But they don't ever tell you about them Africans. They don't ever tell you, oh, Africans been coming out here. They told you the Africans that came over here, they bought them on a slave boat through the transatlantic, the Middle Passage. You made it. You feel me? But you forgot that you was from the land of David, and you thought the land of David was in the Middle East. But that's in America. It's in America, nigga. We know this is America. We know the Mississippi is the Nile. We know this. We know this, right? It's the and then it gets way deeper than that. So, like I say, we're in Revelations right now, the time to reveal. You're on the internet. You got your books. You got your books that you studying, right? You got your stuff that you doing. You got your etymology book, right? You got your Strong's Concordance books. You got all this. I know you got all this because I see you on your computer doing your thing on your computer. So I know you have these books. I know you got the law books, right? I know you got the law books, right? Because okay, this is what's most important. Why we tell? Okay, look at right. While we telling y'all about, oh, you's American Indian, you from here, and we telling you about your religion, your way of life. You got to know where you from, but this is what you need to know, right? Okay, you need to know that you're from here, but you need to know the law. That's the most important thing, the law. If a person don't tell you that you need to know the law, then they really ain't telling you nothing, because you need to know the law first. If you know the law, you can win. If you don't know the law, you ain't gonna win. You have to know the law of the land first. You have to know that first. I mean, you got to know who you is first, but you got to know that law. You have to know the law, which they ain't gonna tell you that. They gonna tell you that. They gonna tell you to sit there and study Mandarin and French and all that. They ain't gonna tell you to study the law. They gonna say study the law. Study the law. But the law comes up out of the scriptures, because it comes out of the Old Testament, New Testament, and the Quran, which a lot of people don't like to tell you that the Quran, they use that too, because the Quran is really, if you read the Quran and you read the Old Testament and the New Testament, you'd be like, it's the same thing, which is the same book. It's the same book. It's the same book. You feel what I'm saying? The same book. So Asir Duke of Tears was talking about in the Quran, Jesus is the most mentioned prophet in the Quran. And I told him, no, it's Moses. But he didn't get back at me on that. He telling the people, because he was coming up with his little, I don't know if he had a little agenda or if he messed up and said that, but he was sitting up here talking about the Jesus thing and then want to say Jesus is the most prophet mentioned in the Quran. And I had to tell him, no, it's Moses. They do not talk about Jesus that much. They do. They have a chapter on Mary that's called Miriam. I don't even think they have a chapter on Jesus. I don't even think there's a chapter on Jesus. I done read the Quran. I don't think there's a chapter on Jesus. They got a chapter on Miriam, Mary, Moses. The prophet Moses is the most mentioned prophet in the Quran after Muhammad. I thought it was Muhammad. I thought he was mentioned the most because, this is the book. This is really, you know what I'm saying? Woo, woo, but it's Moses. It always goes back to Moses, nigga. It goes back to Moses. So that tells you something right there. Why they always talking about this Moses nigga. Always. So, like I said, the Duke of Tear nigga, he didn't get back at me when he said Jesus was the prophet mentioned most in the Quran. No, nigga. No. Moses, nigga. It is Moses, nigga. Get that corrected, nigga. Get that corrected, nigga. It's Moses, nigga. I just don't like how cats be trying to push their agenda, because a lot of niggas just be lying. They don't. Some nigga, look it. Even if you are not telling the truth, but you think you're telling the truth, that's the difference. We not talking about niggas like that. We talk about these niggas that be lying and know they be lying to fit their agenda. So how can we get some truth from you when you go do something to fit your agenda? And then a lot of you niggas got conflict of interest. So I'm not supposed to be listening to no Muslim nigga talking about no Hebrew niggas. I'm not going to be listening to no Hebrew niggas talking about no Muslim or Christian niggas. I'm not going to be listening to no Christian niggas talking about no Hebrew niggas. You feel what I'm saying? I know niggas got That's like me going to a Blood and asking him about the Crips, or me going to a Crip and asking the Crip about the Bloods. Nigga, come on. That's like me going to Jama and asking Jama about Kumi, or me going to Kumi and asking Kumi about Jama. It's a conflict of interest. It's a conflict of interest. So y'all niggas want to get y'all information from niggas who have conflict of interest. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Nigga gotta be real. Nigga, like I said, it's not gonna work. How is it gonna work? You got a conflict of interest. Not gonna work. But the key thing to this is, this what you see. This is just to go let you know. It's too many so-called black people in the Americas for them to come from Africa and they start having all these babies, but they killed the Indians off, but the Africans came. No. And this is why I was back to what I was talking about the stuff that happened in the 60s. If you notice, right, if we go back to the 60s and we go back to the 1900s, 1800s, and 1700s, I know you niggas know this, right? All through history, all through going to school, all through all this stuff, that the only people mentioned in history until the 1960s and 70s was black and white. Everything was black and white. All the documentaries, all the movies was mostly black and white. You know, I'm talking about like the documentaries, like the real stuff that was going on, like stuff they was telling you happened in history was black and white people. Now, when it comes to the movies, oh, they show the Mongoloid Native Americans. They show the Mongoloid Native Americans in the movies acting like they're the Indians. In the movies, though, this is in the movies. But when we get this talking about stuff about Harriet Tubman and all these people, and we go to, ain't no Mongoloids in that. So how we talking about slaves like Harriet Tubman in the Underground Railroad? How is Harriet Tubman going through the Underground Railroad, but she's not running into no Native Americans? You niggas don't get it. It's just common sense. They never talk about the Native American Mongoloids in history. It's always black people and white people. That's it. That's all they talk about. I could say the only one was Geronimo, Apache, and Geronimo was like the only Mongoloid, supposed to be Mongoloid, that they really talk about that's not in a movie. You know, that's not in a movie-wise sense. Geronimo's the only nigga. Everything else been black people and white people until like the 1950s and 60s when they started bringing these niggas out. All the history. Nigga, the Black Wall Streets, Roswell. I mean, not Roswell, but what's the movie that Ving Rhames played in? The other Black Wall Street one. You know what I'm talking about, that one. Emmett Till, Mississippi Burning. All this stuff has been crimes in humanity against black people. Nobody else, because nobody else was here. It's too much stuff. Look, you don't have to be no rocket scientist. You don't have to be really into this stuff like this. All you have to see is this little bit of information and know that we've been here. We've been here because since day one, they always been talking about us. All the movements, all the uprisings, all the riots, all the affirmative action, the civil rights, everything been about us, nobody else. So that lets you know who was here and who's been here. The so-called African American been in America. It's only common sense. This is what you do. This is what your research do. Get your research and go to every state and go to every city. And then you're going to be like, yeah. There's too many Africans out here. And then it's more so-called African Americans than there is white people, nigga. That's why they got all these foreigners out here and all these Asians, because the Asians, they claim them as white. The Asians, they claim them as white, especially like the Chinese and the Indians and all that. The niggas that they probably count as niggas that they don't count as white is the Laotians, the Cambodians, them niggas. Because you know them like the niggas of the Asians. Them the niggas that live right in the hoods, right in the projects with us. The Cambodians and Laotians and them niggas, you already know. But like the Chinese, the Japanese, and a lot of them Indians and Pakistani niggas, they mark them on the census as white. And then for the Mexicans, the gringo Mexicans, and then not a lot of them ain't even the gringo ones. They count a lot of the Mexicans with them, which they're not supposed to be doing. But this is the shit that they do. The white people, they count the Asians with them. They count a lot of the Mexicans with them. Like, no, it's not too many of you people. You people don't even have, you people don't even have kids, man. Y'all people don't even have kids. I know this. I didn't live around blacks, whites, and Latinos. Nigga, I didn't grow up around white folks. I'm talking about nigga in the same house with these niggas, my partners in school, nigga. I know these niggas don't be having hella kids. If they have 5 kids, they had a lot of kids. These niggas be having like 3 kids. You don't have a lot of kids. These niggas do not have a lot of kids. But the black woman was pushing out 9, 10 kids from one pussy. The white man has to have 3 different Caucasian women to have that many kids. While the black woman is pushing out all them 13, 14 kids out of one pussy. These niggas don't have a lot of kids. And then they came out with the abortions. The abortions was for us. But who gets the most abortions? White women from the age of 18 to 25. And once a white woman gets an abortion, 1 or 2, she just killed her bloodline. These black bras are getting 3, 4, 5 abortions and still having 2, 3, 4 kids. So where is all these white people coming from? We know they bring in a lot from Europe and all that stuff, but these niggas are not producing. They're not producing. They're not producing. And don't think that most of us go from gun violence. The most of us go from abortions. We don't even make it here. And then it's like freak accident, like car accident type of stuff, did gun violence. But you got the heroin epidemic going on for the pills, all them pills, them heroin pills from the pharmaceutical company. Do you know how many white people in Boston, just right now am I talking, just about 5 white people just OD'd, nigga. And I'm just talking about overdose. I'm talking about overdose and died off of heroin. On the East Coast, the white folks is dropping off of heroin, nigga. The heroin epidemic for them is worse than the crack epidemic, nigga. Them niggas is dropping. They're having abortions. They don't have that many kids. So how is it a lot of them? And see, that's probably why they got these FEMA camps and all this stuff ready for you niggas. You got to think about that. Why they got these FEMA camps and stuff ready for you niggas? Because there's too many of you niggas. And it's not none of us white people here. It's not. I be going to the rich neighborhoods and looking and counting people. I'm counting Asians, man. Counting Asians. Not counting Caucasians. But I mean, if you want to claim them as white because I guess they're part of the barbarians or something like that, then okay. All right. But then if we go, the black people, I'm just counting North Americans. I'm not counting West Indians. I'm not counting Central and South America. Then we count them niggas, but like, come on, bro. Like, stop playing. And niggas knew they didn't come from Africa anyway. Niggas wasn't throwing no damn spears and shit, nigga. Shaka Zulu ass niggas. Niggas knew they wasn't from Africa. African niggas they ain't got our they ain't got our swag. They ain't like us, man. They don't dance like us. They don't rap like us. They don't sing like us. What have the Africans came out with? The African American came out with country music. Country music, nigga. Yeah. Muddy Waters, rock and roll, Chuck Berry, R&B, rap, soul. Oh, you forgot Beethoven? Beethoven and Mozart are niggas. So who came out with like come on, and then like okay, they might be European niggas, but they're not African niggas, which they probably was American. And I ain't gonna say there's American niggas, but we know them as niggas though. But okay, that we're gonna put that. Since Beethoven and niggas supposed to be over there in Europe somewhere, we ain't gonna count that shit. But rock and roll, country, jazz, blues, rap, hip hop, folk music, Negro spiritual songs. The Nay Nay, the Roger Rabbit, the Cabbage Patch, the Funky Chicken, the mashed potato, the Boogaloo. Like, what Africans invented any kind of dance? What dances have they invented? What genre of music have they invented? See, that's how I knew niggas was playing. That's how I know niggas was playing with us, bro. Like, no, nigga. No, nigga. Can't be no African. No. Oh, but Africa's the old world. Africa's the old world. That's the only reason why niggas want to be Africans. Africa's the old world. Oh, that's the motherland. That's the land of Egypt. That's the land of Moses, Noah, Abraham. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think them niggas. No. Pangea. Okay, but no. AB Original X. Go to Utah and holler at the Mormons. Go to the Smithsonian Institute. And then when you see all these artifacts found over here and all the stuff they've been finding and the stuff they still finding, they digging up stuff in their backyards and finding shit. They've been doing it, man. And all the oil comes from over here. So I don't know what you're talking about Africa. They in Africa for oil. When we know all the oil comes here. The richest black girl in America. What was her name? What was her name, man? What was that broad name? She got a weird name. That little girl, when they had bought that property, well, they had the property and they gave her the other property, but the other property had oil on it. The other property had oil on it, and she had all that oil, and she was the richest black girl. You know what I'm saying? Oil. That's what I'm saying. Oil, though. All this oil over here. And they telling you, oh, the oil's in Africa and the Middle East. But every movie they showing us, who's the man? Dr. Dre and Ed Lover. When they was doing the regentrification over there in New York, and they was getting them niggas property. Remember, they was getting the niggas property, and they was wondering why they was moving these niggas out, and the niggas shot in the ground, and the oil came out the ground, nigga. The oil is here in America. The gold, the diamonds, the 49er gold rush, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Nigga, that shit is right here, nigga. Right here. Here. Nigga. Here. Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider, Lauren Craft. That shit is right here in America, it's not in Africa. Not in Africa. It's too much stuff. It's too much. Too much stuff. Who eat grits and shrimps? You gonna eat your cornbread? You gonna eat your cornbread? Yeah, nigga. Watermelon. Chicken eating ass nigga. He's a watermelon chicken eating ass nigga, huh? You is, but not them Native Americans. Native Americans don't eat watermelon. You go to the reservation and see them niggas eating them niggas don't eat watermelons, but them niggas don't eat grits, nigga. Them niggas don't eat jambalaya. Them niggas don't even know what red beans and rice is, nigga. And show them niggas some red beans and rice. What is red beans and rice? What is this? What is this? Y'all eating grits? What is grits? Man, but you supposed to be American. This is all American food. This is all stuff that comes from America. That they so-called soul food. We're gonna leave out the pig and because the pig ain't a real animal anyway. Gotta be the boar. That pink pig is not a real animal, nigga. The soul food, we're gonna leave out the slave food. We ain't talking about no chitlins and pig booty and stuff like that. We talking about the real deal fruits and vegetables, nigga. Even the fried chickens and fried turkeys, nigga. Thanksgiving, nigga. You know who cooks that shit, nigga. That's why why you think all you niggas on Thanksgiving still cook that shit on Thanksgiving? I even know, nigga. Christian niggas, Muslim niggas, and Hebrew niggas that don't celebrate holidays because they know they pagan holidays. Oh, Christmas a pagan holiday. Oh, this a pagan holiday. But them niggas still celebrate Thanksgiving. Maybe because they Indians and that's what they was doing. But you niggas still love Thanksgiving. Didn't y'all people get murdered? Or didn't people get murdered? Even if it wasn't your people. Didn't people get murdered on this? And you want to celebrate Thanksgiving. Oh, I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't celebrate Easter. But you niggas some Thanksgiving celebrating niggas. Maybe because y'all Indians. Or are you Moors, whatever you want. Indian, Aboriginal, Moor of America, whatever. Nigga. You American. Turtle Island, American, whatever. The old world. You do not have to be a rocket scientist to know that the African American is really an American, is the true American. You ain't even got to see the artifacts, man. You ain't even got to see the artifacts. Nigga, look just like your granddaddy, nigga, over here in America, but you talking about you an African, nigga. Well, you probably, nigga, you might be, though. You might be. If we know Africa is not real. It's not real. It's not real. So what was that land called? What was it called? This one, we don't know, huh? We don't know, huh? What was it called? Because you know it wasn't called no Africa. Nigga. You don't know if that's Africa. Cepheus, Africa. What's the name? Africanus, the Scorpio, and the other nigga. It was two niggas, but I know their names is named after the zodiac. Scorpio, Cepheus, and what the nigga Lee? I don't know, man. I don't know, boy, but you gotta know, cause I don't even care, cause I don't even really care no more, about no African stuff. But I don't even care. It's not that I'm hating. I'm not hating. It's just like if you telling me I'm a European, I'm like, no, I'm not no European. I'm not no Australian. I'm not no Chinese. I'm not no African. I'm not no Chinese. I'm not no African. I'm not no European. So I don't care. I don't care. When I go travel, I don't want to go to Africa. I don't want to go to Europe. I don't want to go to Asia. When I travel, I want to go to the West Indies, Mexico, Brazil, Canada, Hawaii, Samoa, Tonga, St. Thomas, nigga, Cuba, Havana. Or I just might end up in Savannah, man. Who knows, man? You feel me? But I don't want to travel to Africa, Europe, or Asia. For what? For what? So I can look at some fake pyramids. Well, I want to go to Africa and go to Egypt and look at some fake pyramids. That's why that's why I believe UB News on that, man. You niggas talking about them pyramids is, man, no, because I ain't even seen the white niggas. I seen the white niggas talking about them pyramids in Africa are fake. It's a movie script. I seen them niggas talking about that shit. And they was talking about all the fake pyramids, but when they was talking, they didn't say nothing about the ones in America. They didn't say, oh, them mounds and them pyramids is fake, because they know they can't say it. They know the wind will slap the dog mess out of them if they try to say some stuff like that. And then people be like, oh, they got other pyramids in Africa. They probably do. Can you please show me the pyramids or the mounds or whatever you in Timbuktu and all that? Because the pyramids in Egypt, some stuff to go like this. But when you see all the pyramids out here, you can walk on them, got stairs like they real, like nigga, real cities, real big structures, real city, real, like, come on, man. Like, come on, the real deal. The real deal. That's why the aliens came over here, Roswell and all that. You ain't never had no alien sightings in Africa, in Egypt. Remember when you watch Stargate, the movie Stargate, they supposed to be over there in Egypt and they showing you the aliens and shit. But we don't never see no documentations, no nothing, no Area 51s over there, nothing. All that alien sightings and stuff been over here, nigga, over here. Because this is the old world, nigga. This is the old world. You better wake up. You better wake up. And that's what I'm saying. That's some most stuff. Like, how come it was no aliens? Oh, my bad. Y'all, because y'all aliens. No, let me stop that. See, I ain't finna get into that. That's a whole nother, that's a whole nother thing, right? Because I'm not from that region. I don't have no Neanderthal blood in me. I don't have none of that. But then, see, this is another thing that's crazy too. This what gets me too, right? No, I ain't even finna get on that. That's another chapter. Same book, just a different chapter, different page.